Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. My name is Virginia Rivera, and I am your trainer resource person for this session. Welcome to International Internship University. We are the largest digital platform for e-learners around the world. We have over 10,000 e-educators. So you can find any topic that you are interested in acquiring. We are a skill-driven institution, and we believe that everybody deserves a chance to a great education. Let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. So today we have an incredible topic. It's women in the boardroom. And this is part of our female economic empowerment series. Every week we have a session where we talk about women in different aspects and participating in different aspects of the world. So we are so excited to talk today about women in the boardroom. I want to thank Mr. IIU Pandit, because he's our founder, but not only that, he's a true believer that women should be everywhere and anywhere, that we should definitely be inserted in the politics of the world, in the government of the world, in the business sector of the world. He proposes that we have and acquire gender equality. The most important thing about Mr. Pandit and IIU is that the vision is that this is a world, a global world, one where everybody should have the same opportunities to thrive, to get economic success, to really be able to have access to quality education, no matter in what corner of the world you live. I am so excited to be part of this program. I am so excited to be part of this institution, but most importantly, I'm so excited to be part of the revolution. IIU is the revolution. Today's topic is one that is very close to my heart. For over 20 years, I have been in the corporate sector. I have been a woman that has grown from entry level to leadership positions. The most important thing is that only 20% of the global companies around the world have women in their leadership positions, and that has to be. So today we're going to be discussing why does it have to change and who benefits with having women in the board. So let me go ahead and share. The last frontier. That's what I like to call it. A little more. And let's get comfortable. This is a fun conversation. So the last frontier, women in the boardroom. I wish it would have been the first frontier. The truth is that as women, we have been in the middle of everything from the beginning of time, right? Why? Because we are the ones who bring people to the world. It's interesting that again and again, it continues to be questioned if we belong somewhere when we are the originator of everything. Depending on your faith, God first, or the energy, or the supreme being, or whatever you want to call it. And then women, because we bring forth humanity. Without women, we would not have humans in the world. So how do we drive diversity and we transform corporate leadership? Having women in the boardroom. You know, the most important thing here to remember is that we all work somewhere. And mostly, even if you are an entrepreneur and you're starting your startup, you know, I forgive my redundancy. The truth is that you will be at the top of something, not because you're the most important, most likely because you're the most responsible. So when we talk about having somebody in the boardroom or as a CEO or sitting in one of those chairs, we're talking about people that will be able to handle responsibility. And who better to handle responsibilities than a woman? So the need for gender diversity in the boardroom is huge. Like I said before, if we really take into account all companies, all private sector companies or corporations, only 20% women in their leadership sitting on their board. And that has to change. So that means that other 80% are men. So when you have so much of one thing, you know that you're not going to have diversity. So research shows that diverse perspectives lead to better decision making and innovation. Companies with more women in leadership positions tend to have higher financial performance. And let me explain this again. So there have been studies that demonstrate that if you have a woman or you have women in your boardroom or in your leadership position, you will do better financially. So if we're in the business of making money, making sound decisions, and it has been proven with studies that women, when you have women in your leadership, you make up to 35% more your return on investment, then it's good business to have women in the boardroom. Nonetheless, even with all this, it's not happening fast enough. Gender diversity in the boardroom is essential to representing the diverse customer base and stakeholders. So there's so many companies that sell products and services. Did you know that around the world, 87% of the consumer decisions are made by women? Did you know that? So if 35% higher return on investment is a guarantee, and 87% of women make the decisions and they have the purchasing decision making, why are we not putting more women in the right seats so we can all make more money, right? You would think that this would be a no-brainer, but it's not a no-brainer. We are still so behind, and I still don't understand. So we need to come in and break those barriers, and we need to help women rise in the boardroom because it makes good business sense. Historically, women face significant barriers and biases in accessing boardroom positions. Factors contributing to increased representation include changing societal attitudes, regulatory changes, and the recognition of women's unique skills and perspectives. I'm going to break this down for you. We need to stop thinking that the woman's job, the only job she has, is nurturing and caring in the home. That is now a collaborative effort. That is not only for women. We have demonstrated again and again that having a father figure, a male role model in the home is important. But you know what? It doesn't really have to be male. It could just be that other person that shares with you in the home. It's a collaboration. Now, if by any chance it's a single woman who's raising the family, she still deserves the opportunity to grow, to contribute, and to shine in the corporate sector. That is why regulatory changes have to exist. We need to start thinking of ways out of the box to really make sure that everybody is accommodated, everybody is included. And most importantly, there are unique skills that women have, there are unique perspectives that women have that really will help our business grow. So what are those women's contributions in the boardroom? Women bring diverse skills, experiences, and perspective to corporate leadership. We bring something that men don't have, and we don't compete because what men bring is great. But then you need the other side. You need the other perspective, the female perspective. Research shows that companies with more women on boards tend to have better corporate governance and ethical practices. What does that mean? Better governance is that the processes are followed, that it's a healthier corporate environment, that the guidelines are being respected, and that everybody feels seen and respected. And ethical practices is nothing else than doing the right thing when nobody is watching. Usually we've heard about corruption in corporations. We've heard about nepotism in corporations. The truth is that more women we bring in, the more ethical our business practices will be. Examples of women contribution in driving positive change, such as advocating for gender equality, promoting sustainability, and fostering inclusive corporate cultures. So again, when women are part of your leadership, you are going to be, and rest assured that somebody will be advocating for gender equality, that they will be promoting sustainability from every aspect, not only the environment, which is so important, but also how we're doing business. Is it really going to be sustainable for the future? And fostering inclusive corporate culture. A culture is something that is created within an organization. It's the way we speak to each other. It's the way we treat each other. It's the way we value. It's our mission and our vision. It's really living up what we promise. Every brand is a culture. And what you want to make sure is that your culture, what you have created, resonates and is cohesive with your mission and vision. So this is really important. And when you have women in the boardroom, these are one of the things that always. The challenges faced by women in leadership positions are so many, but I'm going to give you three important ones. Number one, there's a gender gap in board representation. This persists globally. This is all over the world. When I say that only 20% of the corporate businesses around the world have women, only 20 have a woman in their boardroom, I'm not lying. It's been proven. Each census proves that. Each study proves that. And this, if you want to think about it, think about for every 10 women, only 2. For every leadership council or any boardroom, only 2 are women. So you have 8 men. Do you really think that women's representation is being fair? I don't think so. I would love for you to look around your corporation. I would like you to look at your board. How many women are on your board? Is it equal? Then you're lucky. Is it more women than men? Maybe we need to work on that distribution a little bit better. But most importantly, and most likely, you will have very little female representation. And that affects us all, not only women, it affects everybody. There's unconscious bias and stereotypes that can hinder women's advancement and influence in the boardroom. What does that mean? She's going to marry soon. She will be dedicated. She's a mother. Whenever the child is sick, she's going to have to run over there. She's emotional. If there's a problem, she won't be able to handle it. She's small. We need physically big people. You know what? All these things are silly. They really are silly, because when women get married and they form their home, they're more committed to bringing the best for their home. So they're going to want to work better for anybody and really perform better so they can bring security home. Number 2, just because we're mothers doesn't mean that we're irresponsible. What it does mean is that if we want to continue have a human race and we want to continue having women give themselves the opportunity to have children, then we need to start making policy that will embrace the fact that this leader also brings people to the world. And she wants to contribute not only by bringing life and being a baby maker, she wants to contribute with her talent and what she knows. So let's create policy that supports her work, maybe as flex time. That means that maybe she works from 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. She picks up her children. She takes them to a place where they can be taken care of. And maybe she comes back, or maybe she works remote the rest of the day. When kids are sick, maybe we will have nurseries in corporations so they can take care of our babies while we're working. There's so many things that can be done. to make a woman's contribution viable, feasible, and it's in everybody's hand. A lack of female role models and limited networking opportunities can make it very challenging for women to break through the glass ceiling. You know, this glass ceiling was created, I always say in our minds, but the truth is that there comes a point that we do not continue to grow. You can call it any ceiling. It may very well be a cement ceiling for everything we know, because we're just not moving up the way we should. So what initiatives can we address to these challenges? Diversity quotas and regulations have been implemented in some countries to increase gender diversity in boardrooms. What this means is that some countries and some cities are already saying you need to have 50% women and men. It's a regulation. You have to follow it. Are people happy with it? Well, you know what? It doesn't really matter. If it's a rule, if it's a law, if it's a regulation, we have to comply. And we will eventually see that we're better together when we're all contributing. Mentorship and sponsorship programs are very important. They provide support and guidance for women aspiring to board positions. Let me explain. Mentorship is, I've been through what you're being through. I know what it is to want to grow in your company. So I'm going to be your mentor. I am going to tell you how I did it, and I'm going to understand when you're having issues and we can work on it together, right? I'm mentoring you in that process. A sponsor is somebody that has the influence and can actually take you on and say, I'm going to mentor you, I'm going to groom you for your next position. And they sponsor that. They're like, no, I am going to take care of her and her. I'm going to make sure that they grow through the management growth ladder so they can arrive to the board position. That is somebody that's taken a special interest in your company that's going to help you through the process. So they're both different and they're both very important. Boardroom training and leadership development programs help women enhance their skills and their confidence. I want to stop right here and talk about something that's really, really critical. Going towards 2030, knowing that the transformative technology is already here, and that's all your AIs, right? Your virtual, your augmented reality, everything, all those tools that we're going to be able to use and incorporate in our daily lives to make our lives easier. If we don't take the time as a private sector to train women during work time, we will not have updated women. Why? Because when our women leave work, they go home to do more work. They don't go home to have some dinner, watch a little TV, and relax. They don't go home to work out. They don't go, no, they don't. They go home to do more work, the work that society says that she should be doing also. Taking care of the family, caretaking for the parents, cooking the meals, making sure homeworks are done, making sure, the domestic areas are done, all that stuff. So it doesn't stop there. So what does this mean? If there's continuous education, she will not take it because her hands are full. So we need to make sure as leaders in private sectors and in corporations that we include trainings in their work time so they can be updated for us. And a lot of people think, oh, well, if I teach her this or if I invest in her right now, she's going to leave and then I won't have anybody. The truth is that if you invest in your employees and you establish a growth mindset culture, they will stay with you. They will not leave. So this is very, very important to address. So how do we empower women? How do we let them know that they have the power? They just need to use it correctly to grow in the leadership position. Number one, mentorship and networking are crucial for women's careers advancement and access to board positions. So what can you do to grow? You need to, number one, get your mentor. Who's the person that you admire, that you aspire to be, who's already done what you want to do, that has that experience? Coach them. Let them know that you're looking for a mentor. Also, networking events. If you're invited to a summit, if you're invited to a conference, if you're invited to a conclave, if you're invited to any type of meeting, go. This is a great opportunity for people to know what you do. This is your great opportunity to let them know how to shine. When you're at work and there's a boss over you, usually you're going to set up your boss for success, right? So your work will make them shine. A good boss or a good leader will make his people or her people shine. Mostly, they're not good bosses and they take all the credit. So where do you shine? In a networking event. This is important. Let people know what you're doing. Let people know what you're working on. Let people know what you've done. That is how we get ahead. We need to create also inclusive environments that value diverse perspective and support women's leadership aspirations. In a boys group or in a boys network or in a boys club, women's perspectives will never be respected because she's a minority. But if by chance your leadership group only has one or two women, please give them the opportunity to tell and explain their perspectives. Please don't mansplain. And that is like when a woman says something and then a man says the same thing and he explains it his way because he thinks that nobody understood her. That's not okay. We're all in leadership. We all need to be respected. And most importantly, we need to support having women in those leadership positions because it's been proven if you want to make money in your job and you want to make sure that your profit and loss looks good and you want to make sure that your financial statements are healthy, you need to bring women into your leadership. The role of advocacy groups and initiatives in promoting gender diversity are many. I am the president of one organization called Mi Latina, and Mi Latina promotes gender diversity. But IIU also, I'm a partner here at IIU, and we also promote gender diversity, and we create advocacy groups like our Women's Entrepreneurial Council, like World Education Policy. There's so many things that we support so we can grow, like James International School. These are schools are right now are gender inclusive curriculum. That is what we need to see more of. What are the psychological factors that really make us not want to help women grow in the business? And I have to say, number one, this is making sure that she is available to take care of the family. This is a decision that we have to have as a family, but mostly starting at home, we need to make sure that we understand that we are going to be working. We're going to be contributed to this company that's going to train me to do the best to my ability. They're going to invest in me, and I am going to give them 100%. That starts with our mind. But you know what's more important? We are there as women. Psychologically, we know that we have to give 100% here and 100% there. But we need our leaders to realize that women understand what they have to do with work. They know it. We need to change that psychology, thinking that we're only going to be paying attention to one thing. Women are multitaskers. That's innate in us. We can manage more than one thing. The future of women in the boardroom. Increased gender diversity in the boardroom can lead to improved decision-making, innovation, and corporate governance. When we have more women in our boardrooms and our leadership positions, and I'm talking about anywhere, that could be in a school, that could be in a university, that can be in a manufacturing company, that could be in an automobile company, that could be in an aerospatial company, that could be in a cosmetics company. You know, the truth is that we can work in any company. Many times we think that if the industry is male dominated, women should not be there. The studies reflect and show that even if the industry is male dominated, having women in their boardroom will increase their sales, their profit. and their ethical practices. So we need to start taking off the male-dominated industry. We've talked about that in other sessions. How do women join in? How do we become part of these male industries, these masculinized industries? That no, we just need men to do this. Only men do construction. That is not true. We have so many women that are builders, are masons, they are plumbers, they're electricians. They are tractor drivers. They are engineers. They're architects. So we need to stop thinking that we don't belong in a board. We belong in any board in any industry. Companies with diverse boards are better equipped to address the needs of diverse stakeholders and adapt to changing market dynamics. When you have a diverse board, and that means when you have women, men, different races, people with abilities and disabilities, when you have everything, you will have a group that will be able to address any need of your diverse stakeholders, any need, because they have the perspective. They've been there already. They know. So when we have continued efforts to dismantle barriers, we will start to see equal opportunities for women in leadership. But we need to make sure that we're not bystanders, that we're actually helping women. We're sponsoring, we're mentoring men. And I have to say, this is something that I so admire by belonging to International Internship University. One of the things that really convinced me to become a partner in this marvelous institution and is the role of the woman. Mr. Piyush Pandit and his group truly believe in diverse leadership. We have so many women in leadership positions. And that, I have to say, is one of the reasons why it has grown so much. There's so much respect, for everybody. So I have to tell you firsthand that growing with a diverse board is going to help your business succeed. I worked for Starbucks for 13 years. And Starbucks is probably one of the most diverse, companies in the world. We had so many women in the boardroom. And that is why Starbucks was able to grow to a global brand the way it did, still keeping the heart, the human nature. Their mission is inspire and nurture the human spirit. That does not say money anywhere, but it translates into it because there's that perspective, that human perspective, and that is what women bring to the table. So what are the solutions and recommendations? Promoting gender equality in any environment requires education. This is what we're doing today. We want to make sure that you know that in order to be sustainable as a company, you need to make sure that everybody is heard. We need to encourage men's involvement in sustainability initiatives, and that means promoting inclusive and diverse participation in everything, not only in environment, but in anything that we do. I would really love for you to meet today different women, because many times we need to put a face to a position so we know what we're doing. So these are inspiring women on corporate boards. This is Mary Barra. She's the GM for General Motors, GM. She is a CEO since 2014. She's the first woman to lead a major global automaker. First woman. Under her leadership, GM has focused on innovation, sustainability. They've invested in electric and autonomous vehicles. Barra is so strategic with her vision that she has helped GM navigate challenges and maintain its position as a leading automotive company. This woman used everything to her ability to grow a company. She's the first woman in her seat. Gail Boudreau. Gail Boudreau is the CEO of Anthem Inc., one of the largest health insurance companies in the United States. She has been instrumental in driving growth and innovation within the company. expanding digital capabilities, and focusing on improving healthcare outcomes for customers. Boudreaux leadership has helped Anthem adapt to the changing healthcare landscape. So if you are in healthcare, you know that insurance management has changed everything, especially in the United States and in countries that we have managed healthcare. It's changed completely. And this woman has helped them re-modernize and re-energize and stay with the route that it needs to follow in order to continue to grow. Indra Nooyi, PepsiCo. Indra Nooyi is an Indian American who served as the CEO of Pepsi for 12 years and made significant contributions to the company's growth and sustainability. She led PepsiCo's expansion into healthier food and beverage options, emphasizing the importance of nutrition and sustainability. The truth is, she watched trends. She saw that people were looking to be healthier. And in order to lose market share, she decided to create products that would have more market share. Her strategic initiatives and commitment to social responsibility have left a lasting impact on the company. She is definitely a legacy maker. And Indra, we still read about her. We still hear about her because her strategies were so innovative for one of the biggest companies in the world. Ursula Byrne, Xerox company. Well, you know that Xerox for a while was really synonymous with copiers, because people thought so much of their name being what represented copying that people would say, just Xerox this for me instead of copy this for me. Ursula Byrne served as the CEO of Xerox Corporation, becoming the first African-American woman to lead a Fortune 500 company. She played a crucial role in transforming Xerox into a technology and services enterprise. She has been focusing on innovation and diversification. Byrne's leadership helped Xerox navigate a very challenging industry landscape and adapt to the digital age. So we hear this again and again. These leaders, these female leaders, were critical to helping a company that has existed for long, long before adapt to changes. That is why bringing women into the boardroom is so important. Men have some contributions that only men have, and women have contributions that only women have. When we collaborate, what we have is really a leadership that will be able to navigate any challenge. Safra Katz for Oracle Corporation. Safra Katz is the CEO of Oracle Corporation, a leading technology company. She has been instrumental in driving Oracle's growth through strategic acquisition and expanding its cloud computing services. To have the vision that eventually memory is going to end, because memories are not endless or infinite, right? So she thought of why not start doing cloud computing? Everything goes up in the cloud. We save everything in the cloud. Katz's leadership has helped Oracle maintain its position as a key player in the technology industry. Helena Helmerson, or H&M. Helena Helmerson is the CEO of H&M, and you all know this incredible store, a global fashion retailer. She has been actively involved in driving sustainability initiatives within this company. She is so involved with finding practices that are ethical for the environment. She's focusing on ethical sourcing, circular fashion, and reducing environmental impact. Helmerson's commitment to sustainability has positioned H&M as a leader in the fashion industry's sustainability efforts. So in conclusion, the women that you've met today, the women that you've met at work, the women that you meet at home, in your neighborhood, in your community, these women have all made significant contributions to their respective communities, companies. Think of the people that you know. Think of the women that you know. How many times have you said, If she could, she would rule the world. Because sometimes we see these incredible forces of nature really dominating in the community, dominating in the homes, dominating in schools, but we don't see them in the boardroom. We need to see women in leadership positions sitting in that table so they can drive growth, innovation, and sustainability. The leadership that women have and the strategic vision that the women that you have met today have propelled their companies. You've seen each one of them help their companies navigate what are challenging times right now. And they've come up afloat, but not only afloat, they've come up profitable. We have businesses to make a profit so that we can reinvest in our people. We reinvest in our country. A country that has profitable corporations is a profitable country. They have work. The unemployment is down, but we also need people with diverse perspectives sitting in the important chair, making the important decision. I have to tell you, women, if you're not invited to the table, start bringing your folding table in. And let me explain what I mean about that. And I'll tell you in a few minutes. The achievements of our women that are already, the 20% that are already working, you've met them, some of them, are creating great change and helping us really adapt to the future. They all serve as an inspiration for aspiring women leaders and highlight the importance of gender diversity in corporate leadership. It is key that we realize that we need to start asking. We need to start asking for more. I'm really, really happy to be here today and talk about this topic because women in the boardroom it could be a company that's 500 or more people, 3,000 people, or it could be a company with 5. If you haven't been invited to the table, bring your folding chair. Folding chair, you know that you can bring it up, then you can open. Bring your folding chair and start squeezing in. And if you can only open your seat a little bit sideways, like get in between. Many times we're asked at work to do certain things that may be out of our scope or our description. We need to say yes to those opportunities. We need to embrace opportunities that help us get out of our comfort zone. We may need to stay up a little longer. We may need to wake up a little earlier. We may need to work a little bit more if we want to grow and we want to be part of the board. They need to see you as a leader, capable of change, but most importantly, capable of leading, of going forward. Leadership and administrative are two different things. A leader has the vision and goes after it. An administrator will make sure that everything is in order. I am talking to you in the capacity that you know you are good at. Whichever that is, there's a room for you at the board. Maybe not now, but maybe in a few years. But if you don't let people know that you're interested, if you don't let them know that you are willing to work harder or you're willing to work smarter, they will never know. To tell you the truth, with technology and after the pandemic, we have seen that working remote is just as effective as being in person, and that using technology allows us to make our world smaller so we can actually interact with each other. So this is the greatest time to become active, to become the leader that you're meant to be. And this is the greatest time to really look out in your pool of employers and see who is ready for the boardroom. Bring women in. It makes financial sense. It's a good business decision. And most importantly, it's a good decision for the environment. It's a win-win-win for all when we have women in the boardroom. This is the way we will transform corporate culture through diversity and leadership. It's really bringing us all in so we can all participate and make our companies stronger and with better culture. Thank you all. Remember that here at IIU, you are very important. We're inviting you to join us, to be part of this amazing institution and the team that every day provides incredible educational sessions. I want you to go to Facebook and I want you to find our invitations. You're going to see that we're inviting you to be part of our organization. Go to that form, press that link, fill it out, and welcome to International Internship University. I want to thank Mr. Piyush Pandit for this great platform and for the opportunity to allow me to bring this session, this internship session on female economic empowerment. Thank you so much. Have a great day, you all. Bye-bye.